Girl, there are 5 mindset rules I'm following to help me stop stressing about money. And the crazy part? None of them have anything to do with making more money. Because most times we have to just work with what we've got. Because for years I thought more money was the answer. I used to think more money would fix my money stress. More money would make me stop checking my account like I was waiting on bad news. More money would make me stop doing that little mental math at the grocery store. More money would make me feel safe. But then I learned something the hard way. More money will not fix poor money habits. More money does not heal emotional spending. More money does not create peace if every dollar already has a job before it even hits your account. What changed things for me was not one big magical moment. It was rules, simple rules, uncomfortable rules, grown woman rules, rules that made me slow down, pay attention, stop buying out of my emotion, and start leading my money instead of letting my money lead me. In this video, I want to share the 5 rules I'm learning to follow so money doesn't stress me out the way it used to. Now let me be clear, I'm still learning these. I am not sitting here like I have mastered every dollar, every decision, and every receipt. No, ma'am. I am sitting here as a woman who has been in a mess myself. I have had debt, I have had stress. I have had moments where money felt too loud in my life. However, I've also seen what happens when you stop moving on autopilot and start making decisions on purpose. These rules are not about being cheap. They are not about punishing yourself. They are not about never enjoying your life. They are about protecting your peace. Because some of us do not need more shame around money. We need more structure. We need more awareness. And we need some rules that love us enough to tell us the truth. So let's get into these 5 rules, girlfriend. Rule number 1, every purchase you make has a second price. This rule right here changed how I look at spending. Because most of us only think about the first price we pay. We think it stops there, at the checkout. We see the tag, we see the sale, we see the monthly payment, we see the little only $20 moment, and we tell ourselves that's not bad. But the first price is not the only price. There is always a second price. There is the cost of storing it, the cost of maintaining it, the cost of organizing it, the cost of replacing it, the cost of cleaning around it. And the biggest cost? Think about what that money could have done if it was not sitting inside something you barely use. That purse you don't carry, that gadget you use twice, that home decor you bought because it was cute in the store but now it's just collecting dust, that hobby equipment from the phase you swore was about to become your whole new personality. Come on now, we've all had a phase. Girl, I'm 50 and still go through my phases. But here's the grown woman truth. Every dollar sitting in stuff that we've bought but do not use is a dollar that is not helping us build peace. It's not going toward your emergency fund. It's not paying down debt. It's not giving you margin. It's not working for you. It's just sitting there. And when I really understood that, I had to sit with myself. Because I realized I wasn't just spending money. I was spending future peace. I was spending breathing room. I was spending the version of me who wanted to stop being stressed later. And that hit different. Because once you realize you pay for things more than once, you stop being so casual with the first swipe. You start asking better questions. Do I need this? Will I use this? Is this helping me? Or am I just trying to feel better for the next 10 minutes? And listen, sometimes the answer is uncomfortable. But uncomfortable truth will save you more money than comfortable denial ever will. Rule number 2, cheap is not cheap if you don't use it. This one will humble you right in the clearance aisle. Because a lot of us have been trained to think cheap means smart. If it's on sale, we call it a deal. If it's marked down, we call it savings. If it was $20 and now it's $7, we act like we just beat the system. But did we? Because if you buy something for $7 and never use it, that wasn't savings. That was $7 leaving your life for no reason. And I know $7 doesn't sound like much, but $7 here, $20 there, $35 because you were tired, $40 because you deserved a little something, $60 because the sale was ending tonight. That's how money disappears, and then we act shocked. Like, wait a minute, where did it go? It went to little decisions that felt harmless in the moment. That's why I had to stop asking, how much does it cost? and start asking, how often will I actually use it? Because something that costs $100 but gets used every single week may be cheaper in the long run than something that costs $15 and sits in the closet with the tag still on it. That's grown woman math, not just price, use, not just cute, useful, not just can I afford it today, will this still make sense after the feeling wears off? Because sometimes we are not buying the item. We are buying the mood. We are buying relief. We are buying a reward. We are buying the idea of a woman we think we're supposed to become. The organized woman, the fitness woman, the meal prep woman, the soft life woman, the fashion-forward woman, the I'm going to start fresh on Monday woman. And listen, I love her. I support her. But she doesn't need another bin from Walmart if she's not going to use the 5 bins she already has. She needs a plan. She needs a pause. She needs honesty. Because cheap is not cheap if it becomes clutter. Cheap is not cheap if it becomes guilt. Cheap is not cheap if it keeps pulling money away from the piece you keep saying you want. Rule number 3, someday is not a strategy. I need you to sit with that for a second. Someday is why your closet is crowded. Someday is why you still have things from 3 moves ago. Someday is why we hold on to things and keep buying things that we don't actually need right now. Just in case. Someday. What if? Just in case is why the closet is packed. Just in case is why the cabinet is overflowing. Just in case is why we buy backups for things that aren't even close to running out. Just in case is why we keep things from 3 seasons of life ago, even though they no longer fit who we are, how we live, or where we are going. And I get it. Sometimes that comes from wisdom. But sometimes it comes from fear. Fear that we won't have enough. Fear that we'll need it later. Fear that letting it go means we wasted money. Fear that if we release it, we may not be able to replace it. But let me tell you something with love. Keeping something you don't use will not undo the money you've already spent. It just keeps charging you emotionally. Every time you see it, every time you move it, every time you clean around it, every time it reminds you of the woman you thought you were going to become when you bought it. That's not peace. That's a receipt with feelings attached. So here's the rule. If I needed it, I'd probably be using it. If I don't use it, I need to be honest about why I still have it. And if someday actually shows up, I'll figure it out then. Because I figured things out before, and so have you. Rule number 4, stop replacing what still works. This one is quiet, but it's expensive. Because a lot of money stress doesn't come from buying things we need. It comes from replacing things that were still doing their job. The phone still works, but a new one came out. The car still drives, but it doesn't feel exciting anymore. The clothes still fit, but we're tired of seeing ourselves in them. The couch still sits good, but internet ads convinced us our living room needs a refresh. And I'm not saying never upgrade. I'm not saying never enjoy nice things. I'm saying stop letting boredom create bills. Clock that. Because boredom is not an emergency. Being tired of something is not always a reason to replace it. And every upgrade has a ripple effect. A new car may not just be a car payment. It may be higher insurance, higher registration, higher maintenance expense, more pressure, less margin. A new phone may not just be a phone. It may be a new monthly payment, new accessories, new reasons to stay tied to a contract you didn't need. A new wardrobe may not just be clothes. It may be another cycle of trying to buy confidence instead of building it. Companies spend billions of dollars trying to make us feel behind, outdated, less polished, less successful, less put together, less pretty. And sometimes we hand them our money just to quiet that feeling. But what if we stopped? What if we said, not yet, not because I can't afford it, not because I don't deserve nice things, but because what I have still works. My phone still works. My car still works. My clothes still work. My furniture still works. And I'm not about to stress myself out financially just to impress people who aren't paying my bills. That is a grown woman rule. No, not yet. Not until I need to. Not until it makes sense. Not until it supports my peace instead of stealing from it. Rule number 5. Define what is enough before the world defines it for you. This might be the most important rule on the entire list. Because if you don't define enough, the world will keep moving the finish line. You'll get the raise and still feel behind. You'll pay something off and still find another bill. You'll buy the thing and still want the next thing. You'll finally get what you said you wanted, and 2 weeks later, it feels normal. That's how the chase works. Enough keeps moving. And when enough keeps moving, peace never gets a permanent address. That's why some women can make good money and still feel broke. Because every increase gets absorbed. Every extra dollar gets assigned to a new lifestyle. Every blessing gets swallowed by a new expectation. And I had to ask myself a hard question. What does enough actually look like for me? Not for social media, not for other people, not for the woman next to me, but for me. What do I actually need to feel peaceful? What do I need to feel safe? What do I need to feel proud of how I'm managing my money? What kind of life am I really trying to build? Because if I don't know that, I'll keep buying things that look like peace but don't produce peace. And that's where margin comes in. Margin means the car needs new tires and you can buy them without panic. Margin means the water heater goes out and it becomes a problem to solve, not a crisis to survive. Margin means an unexpected bill shows up and you're able to handle it without immediately reaching for a credit card. Margin means life still happens, but it doesn't completely knock you off your feet financially. Margin is breathing room. Margin is peace. Margin is what allows you to stop living financially on the edge. And for a long time, I didn't have the margin I wanted. Not always because I didn't make money, but because I hadn't defined enough. So money came in, money went out, life happened, bills happened, emotions happened, sales happened, tiredness happened. And by the time I looked up, I was wondering why I still felt stressed. But when you define enough, you stop letting every new desire become a financial assignment. You stop treating every sale like a sign. You stop letting your mood spend your money. You stop trying to keep up with other people and their bank account, their bills, their responsibilities, and their stress levels. Instead, start asking, does this support the life I said I wanted? Does this protect my peace? Does this help me build margin? Or is this just another little dopamine hit dressed up like a need? Now listen, I'm still on this journey. I don't have a perfect testimony, I have a real one. I've paid off debt, I've built my credit, I've made better decisions. I've also made decisions I had to learn from. But I am no longer interested in being financially exhausted just to look like I'm doing fine. I want peace. I want margin. I want breathing room. I want to know that when life happens, I don't have to fall apart every single time. And that starts with rules. Not punishment, not shame, not being cheap. Rules that protect your peace. Rules that protect your future. Rules that remind you that you're not bad with money just because you've made some emotional decisions. Sometimes you've just been moving too fast, buying too emotionally, holding on too tightly, replacing too quickly, and letting the world define enough for you. But we're not doing that anymore. Proverbs 21:5 says, "Careful planning puts you ahead in the long run. Hurry and scurry puts you further behind." That is it right there. Slow down. Get intentional. Stop hurrying your money out the door. Stop scurrying behind every feeling, every trend, every sale, every upgrade, and every just in case. Peace requires a pause. And sometimes that pause is the beginning of a whole new financial life. So tell me in the comments, which one of these rules hit you the hardest? And if you're committed to protecting your peace, drop, "I'm choosing peace." Because we're not doing shame over here. We're doing awareness. We're doing wisdom. We're doing grown woman money moves. Share this video with a girlfriend who's tired of feeling stressed every time she gets paid. Let's be our sister's keeper. And if you're serious about making positive changes in your finances, watch this next video. Because financial peace isn't built in a day. It's built in the decisions we make every single day. Be gentle with yourself, but be intentional with your money. Thank you for spending 15 minutes with me. I'll see you back in the garden for the next video.